Hello and welcome to another sparkling edition of A Splash of Paint, brought to you in association with the SAA, Society for All Artists. In today's colourful programme, we'll be taking a closer look at some of the simple ways to inspire your artistic passion and encourage you to try something new. So switch on your creativity, settle back and enjoy 60 minutes of all the latest products, tips and techniques from some of the most popular leading artists. Let's get started and take a look at what's lined up on today's palette. Our resident bookworm Henry Malt will be searching the SAA library to recommend a great read. SAA professional oil and acrylic artist Mike Skidmore will be demonstrating how acrylic underpainting can add depth and tone to your oil portraits in today's Try Your Hand At project. Popular art instructor and versatile artist Marion Dutton drops by to lift the lid on some of her favourite tools and tricks in our regular What's in Your Box feature. We'll be showcasing the talent of accomplished artist and tutor Steve Williams in our regular Introducing feature. And renowned SAA professional artist Warren Seeley returns to present this week's Art Bite project. But before all that, I'm going to show you how to paint a little seascape and use candle wax to give a nice ripple and sparkle effect to the water. I've got a clear candle. It's been well used, as you can see. I'm just going to find a pointy bit of the candle and put some little horizontal marks for the actual water. And I put quite a lot of pressure. The downside to this is that you can't really see where you're putting it. It's part of the fun, folks, of this one. And if you've got a flat piece of the candle as well, you could lay that flat and just do a little bit of texture coming through as well. And I want to put some real definite ones just in the foreground there. And don't get too carried away like I'm doing, because you'll end up with a lot of movement in your water, but that is good actually, having a bit of movement in your water. I think we're just about there. If you look down the edge and get the light bouncing, you can actually see where the wax has been applied. And then we'll go for a large brush. This one's a size 20. Just going to mix up a little basic palette of colours there. We're going to use some natural yellow, really watered down, really pale. And then I want some blue for the sky, so we're going to use natural blue. This could be a little bit richer. And then I'm also going to mix in this area. I want to mix up some natural blue, fairly strong, with some Viridian. Now, Viridian is a jade green colour, but if you mix it with blue, it gives you a nice sea turquoise colour. Perfect. And then finally, I just need some natural grey, which can be fairly heavy again. There we go. Nice clean brush. I've got some kitchen roll there. I'm just going to dampen the sky area on this one. Forget the water on, again look down the edge, make sure it's all nicely covered. And I want to kind of stop pretty sharply on this edge. This pencil line is just an horizon, so I'm just going to put a line there. And just try and get it as neat as I can on the edge there. And then I'll get the basic sky using natural yellow first of all. I'm just going to do a little bit of a twist. Now obviously that's running down, but it will stop where the water is, so it won't go past the edge of the water. That's very pale. Straight into the blue, natural blue, and then we'll go to the top part of the sky and just sweep it across and just let it all work in and mix on the paper. That's what watercolour's all about, really, getting the colours to mix as you go along. And I'm just going to drop in a touch of the blue, nice and carefully, just on the horizon there. There we go. So that's a basic watercolour sky. I'm just going to clean my brush on some tissue and just mop up any excess. So this is a damp brush, just going to mop up any excess I've got on the edge there. There we go. And then we're going to go for the water. I want to use the turquoise colour first of all. I'm just going to sweep it in. If I look down the edge, I can see where the wax is. It kind of kicks in about there. So if I sweep across, you can see straight away how the wax is restricting the paint on those areas, and it's giving that feel of a little bit of motion, a bit of movement in the water, the sea, whatever it is. Just bring it across, and then as I get close to the horizon, just use a bit of water, clean brush, wipe it on tissue so it's not soaking, and then just basically water that up. Make it disappear away, make it fade upwards, drag the colour down, move it upwards until it almost fades off, and it gives you that lovely light effect shining on the water there. But you can see the wax, it really gives a nice feeling and motion. And just to add a bit extra, if you go for the smaller brush, this one's a size 6, and a bit of that natural grey there. Take the excess off though. And we can just put some darker ripples as well as having the lighter ones as well. It all kind of works together nice, this one. And it's just a case of bringing it in, working across, keeping your lines horizontal, and it should give a little bit extra motion, especially right in the foreground there. And then really a good finishing touch on this would be just to bring in a little bit of a distant feel. So I'm just going to paint some natural grey across the horizon there. Not all the way across, just past halfway would be good. And then almost turn this into a little bit of a distant kind of hill and just fill it in. Make sure it goes off to a nice point at the end. And then I've got some natural yellow there just to add a little bit of extra colour to it, so it's not quite as grey looking. Squeeze my brush, add a few highlights to it, and then all it wants is just a bit more grey in the water, just to give that little bit of a reflection feel to that area. And there we go, folks, an effective way of doing movement in water and adding a bit of sparkle as well. Earlier on today I met up with our resident bookworm Henry Malt as we delved into one of the artistic offerings available from the SAA library. Today's book is Painting Animals by Christoph Droschel.
Near enough, yes.
Close enough. The front cover looks absolutely fantastic. I mean, it looks like a novel. What's this all about, this book?
It's basically about the author.
Okay.
It's not animal painting, it's painting animals.
Got a few step-by-steps.
There are some basic step-by-steps that have been done, but it's mostly about his paintings and how he does them.
Okay.
And the text, in fact, the text is not by him. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's the fact he has not sat down to write a book. He's collaborated with somebody who's described his work.
Yeah.
It's, as you can see there, it's hugely detailed.
It's got a nice gallery section, which for me it's the kind of work that it looks almost photographic.
This one is magic realism. Every hair is in place, you could count them. It's a particular style of painting. It's been around for a while, it's always been a steady seller. Which surprises me, not because I don't like it. I love it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's stunning. But you would tend to think how many people who are learning to paint would think that they wanted to paint like that.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to do that in a few hours. Possibly not even in a few days.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the texture there on the wood, the sheen on the wings of the bird, it's a lot of skill and a lot of experience in getting that. It's
painting quality.
Yes.
And I imagine seeing these paintings in life as opposed to printed, I can imagine they're quite sizey. It doesn't mention the size again, but I can imagine these paintings look fantastic when you see them close up.
I think, again, they would look even better because if you look there, again, there's the shades in the black there, which you can't reproduce really well in colour printing.
It's an exceptional skill, it really is, this, isn't it?
It is.
It really is.
And it's almost exceptional to want to do it.
Yeah.
There are plenty of people who do it, and their work sells for a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it's really rather nice to have one of them available in an accessible book, because quite often those sort of people, you might pay several £1,000s for the paintings, but you'll also pay several £100s for the book.
Yeah, and I can imagine they've done the right thing with this, because it's not a book on how to produce that, because that would be almost impossible to do. It's a book about the painting, about the artist, like you said, which is really, it's a bit of a showpiece, a bit of a sort of portfolio for this person.
Yes, how much you could actually learn from it, I really don't know. I mean, obviously you would look at it and you would see techniques, but I think it's just one to sit back and enjoy.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Somewhere along the line, something will rub off. It must do, because, like we said, people do just go on buying it.
Yeah, it's a superb book. How would you summarise it? Or have you already done that, would you say?
I think you said it's a superb book.
Nice one. We'll see you soon. I hope our regular unbiased book review helps you choose your next addition to your own artistic reference library. Well folks, it's time for a quick break now, but join us in part 2 when SAA professional oil and acrylic artist Mike Skidmore demonstrates how acrylic underpainting can add depth and tone to your oil projects in today's Try Your Hand At project. and contemporary artist Marion Dutton drops by to share some of her favourite tools and tricks. We'll see you soon.